Incremental greetings. Let's continue the Supermemo Course, the Pleasurable expansion. Now it's time to know how you can actually use remember as the opposite of dismiss. So instead of undismissing, that is an obscure feature, you will set remember right away. It's not the same feature, but it could lead to similar results or even better depending on the context. Let's dig into that. Okay, so at least I know now that this is pending. So what I could do is element menu, learning, and remember. Or I can also do Control M. And let's see what the queue says. Memorize the element and introduce it to the learning process. So that's the thing. Remember doesn't mean, in case it's an item, in this case it's a topic, but if it was an item, it doesn't mean, hey, I'm letting Supermemo know that I already know that. That's not what remember is. Remember means this is take part on the learning process. That's it. When I do that, I have to select the interval. Why? Because you may have seen, what we have seen already in this course, the initial interval. Well, that was actually a recommended video, the starting interval, also known as the close interval. And if it's a topic, it is when it's either imported, extracted, split, and some other ways that you can create new topics. Since we don't have that, because it's from the pending queue, we don't have the context, you have to let Supermemo the first interval. You have the suggestion, in this case 4, but they have the opportunity to select whatever you want. I can do it in days, let's say 10, or by date, or you know what, by the end of the month. Here you go. Oh, and precisely the end of the month was 10. Oh my god. So in this case, I already got what I wanted. Cool. So now this is no longer pending, now it's memorized. If I want the opposite, by the way, we can see this, that now is memorized. Then, I want the opposite. I want to forget something. You know what? This is about auto hotkey and so on, but this is out of my notes. So let's go to a different place. Now I choose the interval, and once again I have 4 days. So remember, we have. Oh, by the way, no pun intended. Remember that was not unintended pun unintended. Remember Control M. So you could say, oh wow, this is not a folder. I dismissed this some time ago. You know what? Now I want to undo that. So I would just memorize it, and that's it. Easy. Remember undismissing. We have seen the previous video. Dismissing versus undismissing. You don't want to undismiss. You want to remember. Because this will take part on your learning process already, not on the pending queue. Those settings, those functionalities are there because they're extremely old. So those are using very outdated features that they're not intended. So they are deprecated, but are still there for compatibility reasons, for collections that are super old. That's why, for instance, forget there's no key binding. Don't encourage the user to use it. So the forget, it will be very unlikely you will do it. So more than remember and forget, at the end of the day, in Supermemo 19 or 18, what you're going to do is dismiss and remember. As more or less the opposites of each other, even though it's not exactly the same. In practice, you don't care about the specifics, and happens that are the two that have key bindings. Control M, Control D. So you can, pun intended, forget about forget and undismissed. That is not even here. Remember you have to go to the element browser in order to see the undismiss. So remember, Control M to put it on your running queue when it's dismissed, or in the rare case that it's pending, and the opposite, you want to dismiss, Control D, as we have seen already. That's all you need to know about dismissing and remembering elements. See you in the next video.